What up? Ain't got a lot of stories, so we're gonna make this message quick and we're gonna make it short. And here it goes. A message for the black man. Black man, who is your God? Now let that sit with you for a moment. In fact, take the whole day and ask yourself or ponder upon that question. Who is your God? See, this message, it has been resurfacing time and time again. Every time I place it in the back burner to do some other shit, it keeps coming up. Ask the black man, who is his God? The reason for this question is simply this. It baffles me, the idea that every other species within the human family, God looks like them. The white man God looks like him. The Indian man God looks like him. The Asian man God looks like him. The Mexican man God looks like him. However, when it comes to the black man, he's too busy out here chasing other people's God. Too busy to take the time to figure out who is his God. And so this message has just been resurfacing. Ask him, black man, who is your God? Do you have an answer for me? Some of you thinking Muhammad from the Islamic religious aspect. Muhammad. Now, as I've said before, I don't really know much about the Muslim side of things, and I don't talk about shit that I don't know. So I haven't really taken the time to dive into that for personal reasons. And simply put, I ain't the type to jump from one religion to another, to another, to another. Ain't got time for that. But once one part of religion or religious philosophy wasn't working for me, I had to develop my own understanding. Hence, I found myself. But I say all that to simply say, yeah, many may think Muhammad is the black man God, but that's not the case. Muhammad was a messenger. Dive deep and try to figure out what was the God that Muhammad was talking about. See, I digress. I'm going off topic. Back on topic. See, the reason for this message is this. Black man, prior to this whole religious philosophy, your ancestors, they had a way of communicating with spirits. They believed everything had spirits within them. The sun had a spirit within it. The moon had a spirit within her. The wind has a spirit behind it. The land has a spirit. Animals have spirit. Your ancestors communicated with these spirits. They didn't have no religious philosophy. But then another member of the human family came in and handed you a religious philosophy, and you completely turn away from your ancestral belief to cling to their new belief that they have handed you. Let me ask you this. Can you imagine a white man worshiping a black god? Think on that. Let me ask you this. Can you imagine a Mexican man worshiping a black god? An Indian man worshiping a black god? Ask yourself these questions. See, the white man has Jesus. The Indian man has a bunch of gods. They have Shiva, they have Shakti, they have Ganesh. That's the three that comes to mind right now. But them niggas, they got a bunch of gods. The Mexican man, he has Santa Maria. Who else we got? I mean, as I've said, we got Muhammad, but Muhammad was a messenger. Jesus too, he's a messenger. At the core of all these religious doctrine, they speak on one thing and one thing only. Do unto others as you will have them do unto you. Many miss the message. But again, that is not the point of this. The point of this is to bring your awareness to the question, who is your God? You're too busy out here chasing other people's God that in my opinion, you're like a bastard child that seeks so much love, or that seeks that parental acceptance of his stepfather, that even though his real father is present before him, he refuses to acknowledge the existence of his biological father due to trauma inflicted by the stepfather. Let me try to break that up for a sec. I hope I have enough memory on this, because now I'm getting into it. See, your ancestors, again, as I said, they communicated with the spirits of the world. Spirit of the wind, the land, the water, the air, the sun, the moon, all of this. They had that. That was their belief. They could literally sit and communicate with spirit, and it responded to them. This was your ancestors. This is how they moved. They didn't need no God. In fact, if we had to put it bluntly, they themselves were God, literally controlling the spirits around them and within them. But now your stepfather came and gave you a religious philosophy that told you your ancestral way of believing, your ancestral way of thinking, your ancestral ways of doing things was evil. It was demonic. It was against the natural way of life. It was voodoo. And by convincing you to step away from being the God that you are, that you were built to be, commanding the spirits within the universe, by conditioning you to step away from it, they diminish your existence, if you will, to being nothing more than a bastard child. Excuse the bluntness of the word, but then again, I really don't give a fuck about protecting your feelings. For too long, niggas have sugar-coated shit to protect your feelings, and that's one of the reasons why you're so soft in this world. That's one of the reasons why you are attached to a deity that has done nothing but cause you misery. A deity that has done nothing but cause you endless suffering. Yet you're still hooked on these bosoms, trying to suck out the nectar of salvation. Who do you need to be saved from? That's the question you should be asking yourself. The very hell that your deity, the very hell that this deity that you so willfully cling to has created for you, presents a son that is going to save you from that hell that they have created for you, while you have all this power inside of you to command the very spirit that is the foundation of the universe. Convinced that you need to be saved from hell. What hell? The hell that your new father placed you in, and told you the only way you could get out of my hell is if you take my son as your Lord and Savior. And even that you're not guaranteed. So black man, you spend all the days of your life trying to pray your way out of this hell that this God has placed you in, while neglecting your own father, while neglecting yourself, while neglecting your power, while neglecting your divinity and control over creation. Black man, who is your God? Again, as I said, every other member of the human family, God look like them, except you. You're the only bastard child that's out here wanting ever so badly to have another nigga God love you, to have another nigga God perform his duties towards you. And you neglect your father. You neglect everything that your Father has given you. Heaven on earth, He has given you. It is yours to control. It is yours to command. It is yours to create however way you see fit. I have given you power and dominion over everything, to rule, to care for, to either nurture it in order that it may grow and expand and become something unimaginable, or neglect it and watch it become a wasteland. Look at your home, the motherland. I'm going to take you to Africa, the motherland. Look at your home. Your home, the very root and foundation that gives life to every other land. Because from the motherland, everybody eats. All the treasures, all the rubies, everything is coming from the motherland. However, your land looks like shit to a certain degree. Your land is a body that is divided amongst itself, while every other land seems to be united in robbing you blind, while you neglect your throne, while you neglect your land, while you neglect your power and authority to rule over your land, yourself, and your God. Black man, who is your God? See, the reason why this message has been resurfacing time and time again, even though I got so much shit going on. And if I ain't got shit going on, I'm trying to rest. And if I ain't resting, I'm receiving messages. And if I ain't receiving messages, I'm writing messages. If I ain't writing messages, I'm speaking messages. So much to do, all in the hopes of getting you back on your throne, getting you back in that state of mind to remember you hold the power over creation, my nigga. But look at you. I see many of you walking about this earth looking hopeless, looking powerless, feeling powerless, uneducated, lost of the truth of your divinity, not knowing who you are. So no wonder why you're so busy and willing to take on the identity others hand to you. You're so busy and willing to take on the gods that others hand to you, not knowing who your God is. Nigga, I ask you again, who the fuck is your God? See, you gotta stop playing with this. I'm starting to feel passionate about this right now. You gotta stop playing with this, brother. For too long, you have been robbed of everything. Because if you rob a man of his identity, if you rob a man of his God, he has no foundation upon which to develop anything, to create anything. Without your God, how can you ever move in this reality confidently? Again, you're hooked on other people's deity. You're hooked on other people's God, expecting their God to do miracles in your life while you sit by and watch your power go to waste. Their God is already busy focusing on their people. See, spirits are very powerful, brothers and sisters. We take this shit for granted. Spirits are very, very powerful. Within creation, it says we battle not with flesh and blood, but with principalities and spirits and shit like that. Everything within creation has a spirit. The very Jesus Christ concept, that is a spirit. The very philosophy that is Santa Maria, that's a spirit. The Shivas, the Shakti, the Ganesh, and them, those are spirits. They are charged with a responsibility. What responsibility you need? The responsibility of serving their people, serving their contract, honoring their contract. Jesus has a contract to the white man, because that was created for him. The white man created Jesus. Santa Maria, she has a contract to the Jose's. Ganesh, Shiva, Shakti, them niggas, they have a contract to the Indian man. Imagine Shiva and or Shakti leaving their land to go to Africa to, I guess, be a deity there when there is no Indian, or the Indian population is not as large. Imagine some of these other deities now leaving their role and responsibility to their people to go to another man's land to now serve their responsibility. These spirits were charged with a specific task. Serve and honor your people that believe in you. Who do you believe in, black man? You say, I believe in Jesus. Is Jesus working for you? Now, nothing against the whole Jesus concept. Again, I ain't got no issues with religious philosophy. To a certain degree, they serve me. I look at these philosophies, I take from them that which serves me, the truth for me. I take that from it and I apply it to my life. The lies that I feel are lies, I leave them motherfuckers alone. Just like when I read any book can become a philosophy, a religious philosophy, depending on how you look at it. Because most books have a certain wisdom within it. In fact, all books have a wisdom within it, as I'm discovering, since I picked up this old habit of reading. Didn't do this shit back then, but as I've now trained myself or retrained myself, or as this new version of me have come to discover, reading is a beautiful thing. It's an enlightening thing. You'd be surprised what wisdom are hidden within books. Back on topic. Almost every book can have a level of truth within it that one can take and apply to their life. If you come across a book that tells you this is all the truth you need, I've said it before, run. You come across a person that tells you I know everything, run. Nigga, you live in a universe that is so large and yet so small. But we ain't gonna talk about that right now, because when it comes to the quantum universe, that shit is just so amazing. But yeah, you live in a universe that is so large and it's constantly changing. How can you tell me that one book can tell you within these words lies the only truth, the one truth? And as you look at every religious philosophy, all of them, they tell you we are the one truth. We are God people. Have anyone ever taken the time to ask, nigga, who the fuck is God? Who is my God? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. Who is my God? As I was saying, the whole Jesus concept, it worked for me when I was a child. And to a certain degree, there's the truth that those words that was spoken, some of them, they hit home. Okay? I and my Father are one. That hits home. Do unto others as you will have them do unto you. That hit home. Train up a child in the way he should grow, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. That hits home. Wisdom hidden within those words. What is my favorite one? It is Proverbs something. It's Proverbs chapter 1. Something about wisdom. Why do you get away from me in this moment? I need you. Wisdom. If it comes up, I'm gonna say it. But again, right now my mind is focused on things. I might just put my favorite words written within the Bible. I might tag it in this video. It is Proverbs chapter 1, something about people suffering for the lack of wisdom, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. Here it is, the love of God. Well, the Bible says the fear of God is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. I switched it up to the love of God is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. The reason why I say love, I don't, no, excuse me. The reason why I say love instead of fear, I don't fear my God. There is nothing in me that fears my God. So how can I ever fear God? So I switched it. I love my God. The love of God is the beginning of knowledge. And this is true. Profound words. But fools despise wisdom and discipline. I had to take the time to get to know God for myself. And in doing so, the good Lord revealed itself to me, taking me back to my ancestral root where I've come to discover I'm dealing with spirits in everything. And these spirits are mine to command. Because that power and authority has been bestowed onto me. It has been bestowed onto you, my divine brother. However, you don't take the time to get to know these spirits. To you, this is evil. These spirits are ready and willing to serve your every need. They're ready to fulfill your every request. They're ready to protect you. They're ready to watch over you. They're ready to go to war on your behalf. You need not lift a finger, Master. Just give us the word and we will go and handle that. These are what these spirits are awaiting. These are what these spirits are awaiting to do for you. Imagine you a general. Imagine you a God given the command and rule over your land, the land that is your vessel. And you have an arsenal of soldiers just standing by, waiting your command. Standing by, waiting your command, brother. All these niggas, they're just waiting. The spirit of the land, she waiting on you to tell her what you want her to do. The spirit of the sun, he waiting on you to tell him what you want him to do in your life. The moon spirit, she waiting on you to tell you, for you to tell her what to do. Reveal to me the hidden aspects of creation. Reveal to me the truth that people try to hide from me. She could tell you these things, but you don't know your power. Again, you're too busy hanging on to your false God. You're too busy being the bastard son to a father that neglects you. And when a nigga like me comes along and try to open up the doors of heavens to you to let you in, or to remind you that, brother, you already in heaven, you already have the power. Everything is yours. You said, bro, you evil, man. You're not talking to Jesus. Talk anything, because the Bible told me that anything anybody talks against Christ, they're evil. So I got to stay away from you. My words falls on deaf ears. If you knew just my actual purpose for being in this reality, every word I utter out of my mouth, you would take into consideration and do the research. And once you do that research, arrive at your own truth and set yourself free from your stepfather. Because that's what he is. A stepfather that don't give a fuck about you. A stepfather that tells you, I need this done, I need this done, I need this done. And if you do not get this done, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. And then your real father, he is there helping you do what your stepfather is telling you to do. Your stepfather tells you, I need you to create this philosophy, and I need you to accept it and believe it and submit your godlike power to this philosophy. You say, yes, Father, and you do it using the spirit of your actual father. For some of you, you're not going to get what I just said. And for the ones that did, bro, we out here. Your father has given you his or her power to command everything within creation and to create anything, everything. Your father gave you the power to make the impossible possible. Your stepfather knows of this gift. So what does he do? He comes up with creative ways to get you to use the gift that your actual biological father has bestowed upon you to his advantage by convincing you to create shit that don't serve you. Your stepfather convinces you to create shit that takes away your health, takes away your peace of mind, takes away your divinity, takes away your authentic expression of self. Your stepfather wants you to be dependent on him. Your stepfather wants you to be nothing more than a slave to him. Your stepfather wants you to be nothing more than a mindless puppet, a sheep, a clown that believes just about anything he says. I tell you, I need you to create a red sky. You create it because you believe him. Your father tells you, no, son. You decide what color the sky is going to be. You decide